Hey guys, welcome back. Today I have another video for you guys. I am gonna show you guys how to do basic edits to your config file for your Profi setup, and I'm gonna be showing you guys the easiest way to adding new sound fonts to your Profi board and blade styles using V2.2's library, which is probably the easiest way to add blade styles in general. So just a fair warning, I'm not going to go through the technicalities of everything. If you guys want that, I'm pretty sure there's other videos that provide that. This video is mainly just going to be me explaining things as simple as possible, because you know, some of those videos that go through the technicalities, some people just kind of get lost. And in this video, I'm just gonna keep it as simple as possible, so hopefully everybody can understand it. Alright, so starting out, we're gonna go through the Profi config file. This is your basic config file, which is what's in front of us right now. This is the config file that I generated for the previous video that I made regarding how to set up your Profi board on the computer. This current config file is set up for Pach Store's 2-button setup for their Profi hearts or Profi chassis. But yeah, so what you're looking at is your basic Profi setup. Your Profi config file. So starting from the top, you're looking at the comments, the code comments that I added in to probably make it easier for you guys who don't exactly understand, or maybe just have a little confusion. Anyways, I added here, this is hashtag define volume. This code pretty much indicates your default volume for your Profi board. If you want, you could change this to whatever you want. Lower means lower volume, higher means higher volume, and I believe 3000 is the max volume. So if you want, you could change this to, like, right now it's default to 1000. You could probably change it to like 1500, and then you just save it, and you can upload it to your config to your Profi board if you like after the change. And then yeah, just going down here, this line right here is the count. I added this myself. I added this to the config file because I think it'll probably be easier for you guys to see this, and just change this number. Originally, when you generate your config file, this isn't going to be here. This is actually just a number that's down here, pixel count. You see this right here, pixel count. Basically this block of code here is using pixel count, which is what this is right here. Basically, this number tells the Profi board how many pixels are in your NeoPixel blade. So right now it's at 130, which means that it covers 36-inch NeoPixel blade. So you have 130 now, but let's say if you have 40-inch NeoPixel blade and you have 130 on your config file right now, and if you upload this into your Profi board, your Profi board thinks that you have a 36-inch NeoPixel blade, because you have 130 pixel count. So it's gonna illuminate only about 130 pixel counts, which isn't enough to illuminate the entire 40-inch NeoPixel blade. So you'll have to do the math to illuminate your blades properly. So for example, a 40-inch NeoPixel blade requires 144 pixel counts, because get a calculator, the math here, basically it's every 1 inch of a NeoPixel blade equals to 3.6 pixels. So if you have a 40-inch NeoPixel blade, there's 3.6 pixels in 1 inch, so it'd be 40 times 3.6, and you get 144. So if you have a 40-inch blade, you'll have to change this to 144. But usually the standard blades that come with all the lightsabers are probably 36-inch blades, so we could probably just leave it at 130. So although you don't want a lower number than your what you actually need, you also kind of don't want a higher number, because if you have a higher number than what you actually need, there's some certain blade effects that will probably not work correctly, or actually will maybe not like look as appealing as it should. So it's always good. It's the best. It's always best to find that exact number that you need. So not too low. Not low or not high. You gotta have it just about right where you need it. All right. So down here, this line determines your flash on clash sensitivity. Basically, it's this number right here. So right now it's at 1.0. What this number is, the higher the number is, the less sensitive your flash on clash is. So if you like it to be more sensitive, you should have it lower. Typically, I usually have this at about 4.0 or something like that. But if you like the standard 1.0, you can leave 1.0. But this is a number that you should play, play with it to find what you like. But yeah, it has to be in decimal form. So make sure if you like basically 1.0 is 1. So make sure you keep to that format. Like maybe you want to do 2, or you could do 2.3, 2.4, or whatever you want. Like I usually do 4.5. So let's just leave it at 4.5. So like I said, this is your flash on clash sensitivity. The higher it is means the less sensitive it is, and the lower it means it's more sensitive. Alright, so moving on, we are finally moving on to how to add your how to edit and add sound fonts and blade styles. So down here, this whole block of code, starting from here all the way up here, is your entire the entire block of code for your sound fonts and blade styles for each sound font. So as you can see, this is sound font number 1. Down here are the blade styles for this sound font, and for this line determines the folder of the sound files to use, and this is the music track. So for example, this line says teensy SF, so it's basically using this folder right here, which is the sound file, which contains the sound files for that sound font. For example, like, I don't know, Clash, and Out. You get the idea. These are your sounds for the sound font. So basically, this block of code, starting from here, this is the folder that the sound folder that this sound font will be using, and this is the music track. So for sorry about that. So tracks, it's going to be looking in the tracks folder here, and Venus.wav, so it's going to play this sound file, this music file, and as you can see, it's playing music. So basically, when you do the play music button function on your Profi board, it's going to play this sound file. Alright, so moving on. Down here, we have your blade styles for this first sound font here. This config file has 3 lines here because for some reason Pach Store's config file has 3 blades, so that's why it has 3 lines. But I'm pretty sure most of you guys that are watching probably only has 1 blade. So if you have 1 blade, most likely it'll probably just look like this, which means that it only has 1 blade, which is probably your main NeoPixel blade. I know that the reason why it has more than one line, because the Pach Store's Profi chassis has a little crystal chamber thing, and one of these blade styles is for the crystal chamber. So yeah. Anyways, I'm not gonna go too much in depth about that. I'm just gonna jump right into how to change the blade styles. So right now we just have your basic blade style. I'm pretty sure this is probably just saying that the blade style is probably just gonna be a solid cyan color and whatnot. I don't really know what this whole code exactly means, but I'm just gonna show you the easiest way to change your blade style using FET263's blade style library. So we're gonna go to FET263's website here. This is FET263's website. FET263 does a lot of things for Profi, and a lot of the features of Profi, FET263 has contributed in adding them. So we should all be thankful for him because he's made Profi a lot easier to use. So anyways, we are on FET263's website. I'll leave the link in the description. Basically, his website has this blade style library starting from OS 3.3 or later. If you followed my previous video on how to set up your Profi board, you should probably be on the latest Profi OS already, so this shouldn't matter. But if somehow you are on the more lower than 3.3 or one of the older operating systems, you should probably update your operating system to make it a little more easier. I guess not easier, but for you to have a little more variety on what you could do with your Profi board. Alright, so let's jump right into the blade styles. Since we're on operating system 5.7, we could just go right into this section. But if you want, there are some blade styles on the older operating systems that are not currently on the 5.6 or later tab. So you can go to one of these older tabs and use those blade styles as well. So yeah, let's just click on that, and then we will have all the blade styles that V2.2 has developed for Profi here for OS 5.6 or later. So basically you just scroll down throughout here and it'll show you all the different blade styles that V2.2 has made for you to choose and for you to just basically copy and paste. So let's just say, for example, maybe I like this Kylo Ren blade style or something. Just watch his video. He does like a little demonstration of the blade, how it looks, and he kind of explains the blade style and stuff like that. You could probably read about it. You could probably read about the blade style here if you want. And let's just say if you like this blade style, you can just click right here, get style code, and then these are the colors of the blade style. Let's say if you want a red color, you would choose this, or maybe if you want a blue color, you would choose this. If you have like just one single blade, you'll probably choose this right here. Blade 2 and 3 is just for cross guards. So if you don't have a cross guard, you should only be looking at this option right here. Or maybe if you have a crystal chamber, you could probably choose here as well. But mainly, if you don't have a cross guard or anything special, this is the option that you would probably mostly be looking at. So let's just say maybe I like this blade style in a purple color. I could just click this, and you could go through all the different options for customizing this blade style. For me, I don't care about doing all this, so I just go straight down and press get style here, and this basically copies this code right here, which is the code for the blade style. Or you could just, you can click this button and it'll copy that, and it says copied. Then you go back to your config file and you just paste it in right here. Make sure you're pasting it before this comma. You don't want to delete this comma. If you do delete this comma, just make sure that you add a comma, because if you don't, when you upload your config file, it's gonna have an error, and then it's not gonna be able to upload your config file. So let's just say I liked that style and I copied it. All I do is just highlight this, paste it here, and then go back and do it to all three of these. And then you're done. That's all you really need to do. Now this sound font, it will be using this blade style when the next time. Now your sound sorry. Now this sound font will be using that blade style that's from V2.2's library the next time you turn on your lightsaber, well, after you upload this config file to your Profi board, of course, and update it. So yeah, that's pretty much all you really need to do. So let's just say sound font number 2. I don't like this sound font, or I mean I don't. Let's just say for sound font number 2, I don't like these styles. Let's just do it again. Go back to FAT263's library. Let's say I like this Jedi Fallen Order blade effect. All right. Just look at the video of his demonstration, or whatever. If you like what it does, then just go to click Get Style. Maybe I want a blue blade, and then just go down here, click Get Style, press OK, and then just paste it. Paste, and then paste. And then paste, and then you're done. So just a reminder, some of you guys will probably just have one blade. So like I said, this config file is set up for 3 blades. So that's why it has 3 line of codes for the blade styles. Just make sure if you only have one blade, your config file will probably just look like this. Right here. Sorry about that. Let me just. It's a long line of code, so. Alright, so if you only have one blade in your config, this is how your config for one sound font will probably look like. Oops. Yeah, so make sure that if you only have one blade, this is how your config file will look like. But this config file is set up for 3 blades, so that's why I have to do this 3 times. So that's pretty much all you have to do for the basic changing your blade style using FAT263's blade style library. But the big question most of you guys are probably having right now is, how do you add new sound fonts? So adding new sound fonts is pretty easy. All you have to do is, of course, plug in your SD card for starters, and drag your sound font that you probably bought from somewhere, or a sound font from somewhere else that maybe you got for free or something like that, and drag it to your SD card. Of course, it has to be set up. Make sure that it's already set up for Profi. So if it's not set up for Profi, obviously it's not Profi is not going to be able to use it correctly. So make sure you're getting sound fonts that are optimized for Profi. So for example, I just bought some Kyberphonic sound fonts earlier today. So let's just say maybe I want to add a new sound font. All I have to do is okay, I bought Savage from the Savage sound font from Kyberphonic earlier. So let's say I want to add this to my new Saber. So this is my Saber's SD card right now. All I have to do is, this is set up for Profi right now. So all I have to do is drag this over here, which is my SD card, and just wait until it everything transfers to your SD card. Alright, so now everything's done transferring. The sound font, or the sound files, oh my god, sorry, the sound files are now on my SD card, and the folder's name is Savage Night Profi, but I'm gonna change it because that's just too long of a name. I'm just gonna rename it to Savage. So now since now your folder of sound files are on your Profi board, this is how it looks. I mean, some of these are organized, some are not. Like, for example, what we were looking at earlier. What we're looking at. Yeah, like this. Sometimes the sound fonts don't have folders. That's okay, as long as it's optimized for Profi, it works. So right now we added the Savage sound font. So we got to go back to our config file. All we got to do is add in a new code for our new sound font. You can pretty much just press enter, and then start out with the bracket here, and then quote. Now put in the name of the folder on your SD card. So we named it Savage, so I'm gonna put Savage. Make sure you have it in quotation marks, and then comma, quotation mark. This is the sound file, as I mentioned. If you don't have a specific sound file that you want to use for this, for like a new sound font that you're adding, you could just pretty much just reuse whatever here. Like, you could pretty much just copy and paste this and put it here, and comma, and that's pretty much it. Then you gotta go do your blade styles. So we're going back to FAT263's website. So let's say maybe I like this blade style. So since it's Savage's lightsaber, okay, let's go for a red, Sith red. So get style, okay. Now we'll go back to our config. All we have to do is paste, and like I said, since this is a new sound font, there's no commas, so we have to put in the commas ourselves. So paste, comma, enter, paste, comma, enter, paste, and then we have to end this block of code with this bracket and comma right here. So we'll have to do bracket, comma, and if you want, you could add in that cyan as well, which is comma, cyan. I'm not exactly sure what this indicates, but if you want to add this just to be safe, you can. So that's pretty much it. Now you have your new sound font added to your Profi board or your Profi config file right now. So if you upload this into your Profi board right now, this new sound font is going to be on your Profi board, and all you have to do is save and then upload it. But yeah, if you don't want to type this out, if you don't want to type this out from scratch, you could literally just maybe copy this right here, like copy one of the other sound fonts code already, and you could just copy and paste it right here. And if you want, you could just format it correctly, and then yeah, and then you could just change this to, let's say right now I have an Obi-Wan sound font right here, and it's called Obi. So if I want, I could just change this to Obi, and for the music, I'll just leave it like that. And for blade style, we could change that. Go back to FAT263's website. Maybe I like this. Since it's Obi-Wan, we gotta do blue, right? So let's just do blue. Get style, okay. And then all we simply have to do is replace these current blade styles. So paste, and then paste, and then paste, and then we are done. All we have to do is save, and then we are done. We're pretty much done adding new sound fonts and editing those other small configurations, and then we could just upload this to our Profi board. So I forgot to mention, if maybe there's a sound font that maybe you don't like that's on your Saber right now, you could simply delete it off your config file, and it's not gonna do any harm. Like maybe I don't like this sound font, I could just simply delete it off my config. Like maybe I don't like any of these. Sorry. Maybe if I don't like any of these right here, I could just delete them. And then I could just keep whatever I want on there. And you could just save it and upload it. And you won't those sound fonts that you deleted won't be on your Saber anymore. Just make sure you do backup in case you regret deleting them or anything like that. So yeah. So now that we're done adding our sound fonts and editing those small settings that we can, we're just gonna go back to Arduino, and then we could just upload the new config file to our Profi board. And then just make sure that there's no errors. Just let it load here, and then if it starts downloading, okay, now it's downloading. So that means that everything we did is done correctly, and there's no errors. So it's uploading the new config file to our Profi board. Alright, so everything uploaded correctly on Arduino. I did not have any errors. If you do have errors, that means that you did something wrong on your config file, or there's probably other errors or other problems that are happening. I would suggest asking for help, either on Facebook or Reddit, Discord, wherever. Just don't hesitate to ask for other people for help. Anyways, here is the new lightsaber with the new config file that we just uploaded. So
hello there.
The first font is Obi-Wan, the one that we just uploaded, and it has that blade style that we uploaded with it, which is just one solid blue color. And then Savage's sound font that we also uploaded, and it has that flickering effect that we chose for the blade styles for Savage's sound font. And then Teensy. This is the sound font that we changed the blade style for. And as we said, it was the Kylo Ren's blade effect in purple. And then we've also changed the blade style for this sound font, which is Cal Kestis, his blade style or whatever it was. And yeah, that is pretty much it for how to edit your config file and adding new sound fonts or editing your current sound fonts. So hopefully this video helped you guys in some way. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and see you guys on the next video.